Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show, and it's time to get the Rams report. We'll go now to the president of the Ouyen Rams Cricket Club, Dom Leach. Dom, great to have you on the line again. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Alice. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you as well. And it was good to be with the Ouyen Rams on the weekend. Another win, and a very important one as well for the A grade against Robinvale. Won by 4 wickets in the end. Dom, give us the lowdown.
Yeah, it was a bit tighter this week. In the A-grade game, Robinvale made the trip and put up a really good fight. They were able to scratch together 80 runs, which was a bit below par. But in reply, boys, we got the job done, 6 down. So I think the highlight was probably our bowling, restricting them to 80 with Alex Morris taking 3 for 14 and Daniel Price back with ball in hand, which we haven't seen for a few weeks. He claimed 4 for 18. So it was a good performance by those two to restrict them to 80, and we were able to get the runs, yeah.
Well, there was a lot going on at Blackburn Park on Saturday night, Dom, but just sticking with the A grade for now, it's probably not a bad thing for Red Cliffs Cricket neutrals, because it looks like, Robinvale, strong contender to probably play in a grand final, as are you guys. So we may well get a tight battle in the end, Dom.
Yeah, I think so. I think, as I've mentioned a little bit in the past, I think any team is a contender out of those sort of top 4. Tempe are probably the sleeping giant as such. I think they've probably hit their straps at the right time of the year, and I think they'll be as dangerous as anyone. So I don't think you could write them off either. And I think it's still anyone's up for grabs. You just got to be playing, as I've said, the right type of cricket at the right time of the year. So I suppose we'll see what happens over the next month or so.
All right, Dom, fill us in on how the B grade got on.
Yeah, B grade had a tough task. They were playing the undefeated Nursery Ridge. They put up a pretty good effort. They were able to scratch together 100, which is probably below par, but it was runs on the board, but it wasn't to be. Nursery Ridge put together 137, so fell a bit short, but it's not a bad effort considering the likes of some of those players running around for B grade in the Nursery Ridge side, and I think we're still sitting in 3rd spot in the B grade. So we should play finals if things go right over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully give it a bit of a shake.
All right, now let's discuss what happened later on in the evening last Saturday. We had the Super 8s happening, the social cricket match. Looked like a lot of great fun. We had the Lambs, the Utes and the Old Rams all getting together for this one. Paint us a bit of a picture as to how people got on in this pretty exciting event, which I think we should have more of in the regional cricket world, Dom.
Yeah, look, it was a great night. A lot of fun was had by all involved. I think we had the young tackers take on the experienced Rams and the Utes, the ladies of the club, and over the course of the night we're able to have a couple of games and really just have a bit of fun. It was great to see some of the old boys pull on the gear again and strut their stuff from the bygone era. And I know by all reports the girls had an absolute blast too. They all quite enjoyed themselves, and it was great for the kids. Cricket's about the kids, and they're the future, and they had a ball. So we had a good crowd in attendance, and everyone enjoyed a good fun night and a great family atmosphere. So it was something we'll probably try and replicate next year, I'd say.
Just out of some of those old Rams participants, Dom, have we got anyone in there who's sort of on the fringe who could well potentially have a bit of a think about maybe dusting off the uniform and coming out and playing for the B grade?
Yeah, there's a couple there. A couple of blokes there were a little bit surprised. They got a game in the old Rams. They thought they were still valued players for the team on a Saturday arvo. But there's plenty of blokes there that could still have a run around when required. Simo Jardine, Heber Smith, Nath Pengelly, those sort of blokes. They're all quite capable of still playing if and when required and if they see fit. So don't let that hold them back, I'd say to them.
It looks like we've got some reserves to dip into there, Dom, which is a luxury a lot of other clubs don't have. We'll move along and talk about all the action happening this weekend. So as we touched on, the A grade qualifying now for a home final. Tell us what we can expect from this week's action.
Yeah, so this week we take on Cardross, who are down the bottom of the ladder. We travel up the highway to take them on. So they are in a bit of form, though. They've won 2 of their past 3, I think it is. So probably a little bit of a danger one that you want to get right leading into finals. So hopefully we can get the job done there. Tempe host Millua in probably in a really important game. It's 3v5. Millua still have a slim finals chance, given their resounding win against Fire Brigade on the weekend. So if they can get the job done down at Tempe, it sets up a really interesting ladder for the final round to see if Millua can squeeze in. And the other game, which is probably the game of the round, is Robinvale hosting Fire Brigade, which is 2v4, and Fire Brigade coming off that big loss to Millua. We'll be hoping to get some points so that they can avoid slipping out of the 4. So it's quite a big week of cricket in the A grade, and one that'll shape the finals considerably.
Some presidential diplomacy from Mr. Dom Leach. I think if you can't beat the bottom side, there's problems, Dom. We know that you're trying to be as modest as you can about your side. Of course, you're a modest man. Let's talk about the B grade now. There's pressure on them. No game this weekend, but just looking ahead, they do need to accumulate some points. So what's the situation with the B grade over the next few weeks?
Yes, so B grade have the bye this week. So it would have been good for them to have a hit. Coming off the loss, but they'll have to wait till the final round to have a hit to secure their spot in the 4. So in the B grade, we've got Fire Brigade taking on Nursery Ridge, which is 6v1. So I suppose we'll tip the Nursery Ridge boys to get the job done there and continue on their winning way. And the other game in the B grade is Kerwa v Tempe, which is 2v4. So another game which will go a fair way to deciding the 4. If Tempe can get the job done up at Kerwa, they'll cement their spot in the 4. But if not, it leaves the door open for Southwest. So still possibilities for some changes in the latter positions, and we'll find out more come Saturday night, I suppose.
That we shall. Now, Dom, let's just take a look around the league. So we'll start with A grade. Just give us a brief rundown of some of the action from last weekend and other games that we should focus in on for this weekend.
Yeah, so last weekend we had Miller with that resounding win over Fire Brigade. They were able to roll Fire Brigade for 91 and get the runs only 1 wicket down. Probably the highlight of that match, Scott Clark 5 for 8 with the ball for Miller, the chief destroyer, which set up the win for him. And boys down the highway, Tempe had a relatively easy win over Cardross. They chased down Cardross at 79 with only the loss of 3 wickets. So, as I mentioned, in a bit of form and, at the right time of the year. So, they're ones to watch out for.
And just update us on the B grade as well whilst we've got you, Dom.
Yeah, so B grade, our boys, we got done last week, as I mentioned, but the other game, Southwest and Tempe, Southwest were able to post a good score of 159, and Tempe fell well short, all out for 80. So that has shaped the 4 there, and as I mentioned, Southwest sitting just outside. We'll be hoping to sneak in over the last couple of rounds.
Lots to look forward to as we head into the final stretch of Red Cliffs Cricket. Dom Leach, president of the Ouyen Rams Cricket Club. Great to have you on the line again. We'll speak to you next week. All the best.
No worries. Talk next week. Thanks, Alice.